Hi, today I'd like to introduce you to Toshua Jarrett. Toshua is the Chief Development Officer for the Veterans Leadership Program.
Thank you so much for having me.
Toshua, I'm so excited to have you because when I learned about your organization, you and what you do for so many, I knew we needed to learn and to share what we learn with others. So this organization has existed for 40 years, right?
It has. We started back in 1982.
1982. And at that time, there was an office in all states in the United States, correct?
Correct. Yeah, it was part of the Reagan administration. At that time, our Vietnam veterans were returning from the war. And unfortunately, the economy was collapsing. The manufacturing plants and the mills, the positions that they left when they were drafted were no longer in existence. So it started as an employment conduit to get those Vietnam veterans connected to employment opportunities that weren't in the manufacturing plants or the mills. There were 50 in all 50 states, and now there are only two, ours here in Western Pennsylvania and one in Texas.
And one in Texas. So at one time, 50 states and now only two. But you're still here and you're doing amazing work for our veterans. You service 30 counties in Pennsylvania.
We do, 30 counties in Western and Central Pennsylvania.
And the focus, from what I was reading, the focus is on helping homeless veterans. Also helping them connect with if they need resources to become employed. And can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think one of the great things about VLP and why we've been in existence for 40 years is we've really met the emerging needs of our veterans. Our needs from World War II, Vietnam, to Korea, to the Cold War II. Veterans like myself, Iraq and Afghanistan, are so different. We have 16 total programs to really meet those emerging needs. We start with housing. We're a housing first model, so we make sure that our veterans are connected to housing, safe and affordable housing. We have emergency housing to get our veterans off the street. If they're couch surfing, living in inhabitable conditions, we're able to move them into that emergency housing until we connect them to permanent housing. To, like you said, career development. A lot of our veterans are either unemployed or underemployed. I know when I moved back from transitioning out of the military, I was stationed at Fort Riley, Kansas. I didn't have a job. And I didn't know. I was a medic in the military, and I knew I didn't want to do anything
like that
medical again. So how do I transfer what I did in the military into the civilian sector, but also make the same amount as you would in the military? To a wealth of supportive services to include utility assistance, childcare assistance, transportation, wellness programming, you name it, we meet those emerging needs. We serve over 7,300 veterans
every year. That is amazing. And I want to also thank you for your service.
Thank you.
How long have you been involved in this? Because I can just hear how passionate you are.
I am very passionate. I know it sounds cliche, but it is my opportunity to give back to my brothers and sisters that might not have been as successful transitioning out as my husband and I were. I got out in 2014 and started at Veterans Leadership Program. I moved back here in February and started in April.
Okay.
So I've been here, almost 8 years.
Almost 8 years. And we were talking on the phone when we were preparing for this that you have some new things in the works.
We do.
And could you describe one of those projects?
Yes, absolutely. So we just purchased a schoolhouse / church in Braddock, which we're going to transform into our new office in Pittsburgh. On the third floor, where the nuns stayed, is individual rooms that will provide emergency housing for our homeless veterans. This is an amazing opportunity. There's a gym. There's a cafeteria. It's just an amazing opportunity for that community and the veterans that we serve at large.
And I think it's a brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Great use of space. Everything's there. And they also have that community environment and have the support of each other.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. All right. So now that we know a lot more about what your organization does, I know you could use volunteers. I know you could use support, donations, so please look at their website and check that out. But I do want to close by talking about another fun opportunity for our listeners, and that is your relationship with the Joy Riders. Could you briefly tell us what are Joy Riders?
Joy Riders is an amazing program. It falls into our wellness pillar, and it's near and dear to my heart. So many of us Iraq and Afghanistan veterans really miss that camaraderie and that outdoor PT, that connectivity to nature. And this program allows our veterans that are either disabled or unable to ride a bike on their own to participate in bike riding. They're really neat bikes. There's a wheelchair at the front and then a bike at the back where volunteers are actually able to cycle these veterans down local trails.
Right.
They're able to embrace in nature. They're able to make relationships and friendships. It's just truly an amazing opportunity for our disabled veterans.
Yeah, there's some great videos that I saw, and I highly recommend that you check them out to watch these joyful rides. That's joyful riders, right? And family members can participate, go along on their own bikes with their loved one and see the happiness and joy that this opportunity brings. Well, Toshua, you are doing amazing work. And I know it takes a village. A lot of people are helping you. In fact, one of my former students at BC3 is one of your team members, and I'm so proud of her. So keep up the great work, and please consider supporting the Veterans Leadership Program and everything they're doing to help others. And thank you. Thanks for watching this episode of the Butler Buzz. If you want to see more, just click on the playlist button up here. To keep up to date with all of Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, click on the subscribe button down here. Hey, I suggest you do both. See you next time.